Welcome to today's Escape to the Country. Now, this gorgeous pool behind me may look like the quintessential picture of peace and serenity, but around 200 years ago, it was a hive of industrial activity with men furiously digging. But for what and where? Well, join me in just a few moments and I'll tell you. On today's show, I'll be helping an island-hopping spiritual healer find peace in the countryside, ably assisted by his daughter. We hit the spot.
Oh, this is it. This is, wow.
It's perfect size for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And leave them stunned.
You're a bit lost for words.
Yeah.
I'm a bit speechless, yeah. I am.
Well, today we're in Dorset, and this is the aptly named Blue Pool at Fursbrook, just outside Wareham. Since the days of the Romans, this area has been a rich source for what's known as Purbeck ball clay. In the early 1600s, it was much in demand for producing clay pipes following the introduction of tobacco from the Americas. And as our love affair of tea increased in the 1700s, well, the likes of Wedgwood turned it into teapots and teacups to grace some of the finest homes in the country. Now, this particular clay pit behind me was begun in 1840, but within 20 years, they'd finished work here and left behind this amazing blue lagoon. And it's the clay in the water that still exists that gives it this amazing turquoise colour. It's a real gem that just goes to show that this region is full of hidden surprises. Now, Dorset's desirability does come at a cost. £316,000 is what you'll have to pay for your average detached property here. That's some 60 grand above the national figure, but as with all statistics, there are things that can skew them. And here, well, it comes in the form of sandbanks near Poole, multi-million-pound properties that represent some of the most expensive real estate in the UK. But don't panic if you haven't got 7 figures to hand. Head north to Wimborne, or indeed round Blandford Forum, and you will certainly find plenty, not only that will take your breath away, but will also make your money go that little bit further. So time now to meet today's buyers and find out why they think Dorset is the county for them. Since the year 2000, retired IT consultant John has lived in busy Bembridge on the Isle of Wight, close to his daughter Sarah, but feels the time is right to swap the high street for a quieter spot in the countryside.
Bembridge is a lovely, lovely place, but over the years it's got more and more busy. The traffic is getting bigger and bigger, so for me it's not as quiet as I would have liked it.
And John has signed up his daughter to assist in his search for a new home.
Sarah's been I would say, my closest friend. It's 2 good mates, isn't it?
Yeah, we do get on
We're
very
good
well.
mates, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't preach anymore. I don't tell her what to do.
Stop to that. I will help Dad find his next property by being honest, I think, and practical about it.
Having lost his wife just over 6 years ago, John has a new lady in his life, but she lives on the mainland, prompting his desire to leave the island.
Well, Ingrid lives in Weymouth. I want to be near her, and because she's very special to me. It's been difficult because of the expense of the ferry crossings.
The logistics of it are just quite difficult to manage to get from here to Weymouth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it sort of makes sense for Dad to be over there.
When it comes to the new home, John is very specific about what he's after.
I think the priority is a nice quiet spot. My ideal property would be a nice low-slung cottage, you know. I'm not keen on thatch, obviously, for the price and the insurance problems and all of that sort of thing. So its energies are quite important, and the feel, you know. It's not so much the bricks and mortar, you know, that's not important. I'm not after chocolate box stuff. And
An important element in the new home is the kitchen.
I'm passionate about my cooking. I've been cooking Indian food. Well, I've been cooking food since I was about 3.
We love cooking huge banquets together, and we'll cook about 15 dishes, you know.
And also playing a key role in the property search is spiritual healing, something close to John's heart.
My biggest passion, it's my life now, vocation, whatever you want to call it, is healing. The healing that I do is not got label on it or anything, not like others. I just try and keep it very simple and very straightforward, and I work on the basis that there's a cosmic energy which drives everything. So a healing room is very important. It doesn't have to be a bland, empty box or anything. It just needs a room that it feels right.
All that's left to discover are the finances for the move.
My budget for the move, £350,000.
John has asked us to concentrate our search around the south coast to be within reasonable distance from his partner Ingrid in Weymouth. I met up with him and his daughter Sarah to find out more about his property hunt.
This is an interesting tale, really. You're escaping the Isle of Wight.
I'm actually moving here to break out with the healing side and take that a bit more seriously now. And I found a partner 3 years ago, and we've really hit it off together. She lives in Weymouth, so it was an opportunity to bring the two together.
What sort of travelling time are we trying to get within?
About 20 minutes to half an hour.
Sarah, are you the voice of reason, dare I say, in all of this?
He's the one who's going to feel the energy, but yeah, I'm going to give him the advice.
But in terms of the practicalities, bedrooms-wise, what?
3 bedrooms. I don't need any more than that.
I know that you've been quite anxious about the idea of a thatched property.
Yeah. I mean, my reservations are obviously how long the thatch has been there.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have a £30,000 bill cropping up in the next 2 or 3 years. If it's a thatched place, it's got to be relatively new.
Right then, so you've got £350,000 to spend. We've got 3, I think, really interesting properties to show you.
Yeah.
I think we should make a move.
For a budget of £350,000, John is looking for 3 bedrooms, a separate room to use for his spiritual healing, a good-sized kitchen diner, a quiet village location, and all within half an hour from his partner Ingrid in Weymouth. We have 3 gorgeous properties for John, and after each tour we'll see if he can guess the price. Our final offering is our mystery house, which, although it might not be on his radar, could totally change his outlook. So we begin our search with our first property.
What other interests are you hoping to pursue down here?
I've always had a fascination for working with wood and glass, so working with the two together would be an ideal. It's something which you could have a bit of pride in, and it doesn't take up a lot of space.
I mean, you're clearly a very positive man, John.
Oh, yeah.
And I get the sense that you are pretty optimistic about this week.
Yeah, it'll all come together.
We're heading west to the village of Netherbury, close to the town of Bemitster, around 40 minutes from his partner in Weymouth. Netherbury is a peaceful village aside the River Brit in a designated conservation area and in a region known for its stone houses and cottages. For the essential day-to-day supplies, the nearby market town of Bemitster is only 2 miles down the road. Property number 1, a detached period stone house, sits in a quiet hedge-lined lane in the heart of Netherbury village.
Hey!
What do you make of that, then?
Well, that's a wow.
Yes?
That is beautiful. Yeah, you got a wow out of me, didn't
How about that? We haven't been in yet.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Central front door,
Yeah.
rooms either side.
Yep. Yeah.
Pretty, isn't it?
It is
is
really
pretty,
pretty, yeah.
So what do you think Ingrid would make of it?
Oh, I think she would really love it.
We're off to a great start with a wow for the exterior, and so far it's hitting all the right spots. As we head inside, I've got a good feeling about this house. Let's hope John does too.
Well, John, I thought we'd start in here. Now, obviously, this is set up as their dining room.
Yeah.
OK.
Yeah.
But I thought we'd tackle the business of having somewhere for you to work with the healing first.
Yeah. This would be perfect, yeah. There's a sense of quietness in this room as soon as you walk into it.
Is the road an issue? I mean, you can't really hear it, can you?
No.
There is
We
some
just had a couple
secondary
of cars.
double glazing there too.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. Follow me across the hallway.
Okie dokie.
So this is your main living room, John.
Yes. This is just the right size. You know, I think I said I don't want anything too big.
Yeah.
We can
No,
get 6 of us in
that's
here.
clean.
That's no problem.
Yeah. And it's all done, as you can see.
Yeah.
Finishes are really nice. Another lovely working fireplace down there.
No, the room is neutral.
Yeah.
You know, so there's nothing here that would disturb me.
Well, Sarah's smiling, so I think it's all good news.
I like it.
Oh yeah, it is
Energies or
lovely.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet, yeah.
it is.
And then this is the kitchen diner, John.
Oh, this is it. This is Wow.
It's perfect size for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very simple space, this. Nothing's very cluttered,
Yeah.
lines are very clean, it's all done, as you can see.
No,
It's really nice, actually.
It's been done
Really good
really
for you.
well. Yeah.
We do need to see upstairs to draw this picture together, don't we?
We do.
Follow me.
Indeed.
Okay.
The house has delivered the perfect kitchen, and so far no negative vibes at all from the downstairs, so let's hope that continues. Up on the first floor, there is one good-sized and another slightly smaller double bedroom and a small single. Then up another few steps is the master bedroom.
Oh, yes. This has got to be the master, hasn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Wow, this is good. This is good.
Next door is a really lovely bathroom, just been all done.
Yes.
So again, there's nothing to have to kind of do.
You could just move in here.
But what about the practical side, Sarah?
The rooms are manageable. I think you'd manage quite well. You wouldn't feel overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is a lovely room.
Yeah. Definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
Lovely and bright.
Definitely.
Well, talking about lovely and bright, let's get out there to the garden
Yeah, go in the sun.
and see what you make of that.
Absolutely.
John seems really taken with the house, top to bottom, and as we head for the garden to guess the price, the sun is shining. It really can't get any better.
This is a sun trap, that's for sure.
You've
Yeah.
got that sort of patio area down there,
Yeah.
and then it's terraced up to this little lawned area.
Yeah.
And then you've got farmland and an orchard beyond.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Well, let's have a think about the price then.
I would probably say 335.
£335,000. Sarah, voice of reason?
I think it's going to be a bit more. I'd say 345.
345.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's close to the budget.
Actually, you've both straddled it.
Oh, right.
This is on the market at £339,500.
Isn't far off. That's nice. That's a nice price.
I'd say so. 10 grand under budget.
Yeah.
There's nothing really needs doing.
Yeah.
Well, I think you should now go and explore a bit more.
Right.
Feel the energy.
Yeah.
Under budget at £339,500, this double-fronted period stone cottage will give John the peace he's looking for, along with 4 bedrooms. A quiet private space to use as a healing room, a good-sized kitchen breakfast room for when the family come round, a generous sitting room, and it's all set in a pretty village in the peaceful Dorset countryside.
Oh, this is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. You could even have this as a sort of master bedroom, really, if you wanted to. It's got a lovely feeling to it. It's very, very gentle feeling to it. There are issues with location for me, mainly the distance from Ingrid. I wanted to be a bit more closer than, you know, around about the 20-minute driving time, whereas here we're a bit further than that.
I could see my dad living here. I think this is ideal for him. The rooms are just the right size, they're cosy. I think there's a room that he could definitely use as a healing room.
Well, I think that went rather well, John.
Brilliant. Absolutely superb.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good start, Sarah?
Yep, very good start.
Couldn't
Well
get
done.
better, really, could it?
It might. Still shining. Come on.
Wow.
For centuries, Dorset's countryside has been home to traditional craftsmanship skills that underpin country life. But with shifting employment trends, these practices are in danger of dying out. However, artisans at the Dorset Centre for Rural Skills near Child Oakford have been reviving and teaching traditional crafts. Mindful of John's creative streak, we sent him and daughter Sarah to meet founder Rob Buckley.
Well, welcome to DCRS, the Dorset Centre for Rural Skills. This is one of the workshops where we run courses. Is there anything you're particularly interested in?
I've always had this passion since I was a child to do something with glass. I think it's fascinating.
Yes. If you want to come down this way to the studio, one of our tutors got something very special lined up for you.
Oh,
So if
fantastic.
we head on
Great.
down here.
The aim of the centre is to give craftspeople the opportunity to pass on their skills whilst maintaining a business, running courses such as hedge laying, blacksmithing and glass blowing. Local glassblower MZ Sharp has been running her own studio for over 10 years, having learnt her craft around the world, including 3 years in Murano, Venice, the centre for glassblowing.
Have fun.
Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you.
Cheers, Rob. Thanks, mate.
Bye-bye. Come in.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
So you come to have a go at glass blowing, have you?
Yes.
We're going to try a bauble. This is one my son made, Luca, who's 6. So if he can do it, you can do it.
Exactly.
The glass, a mix of 24% lead and silica, has to be in the furnace for 24 hours, making sure it's at approximately 1100 degrees centigrade and pliable enough to be worked.
Keep turning, that's it. Got it.
Colour is achieved by rolling the molten glass in ground metal oxides, which impregnate it.
No work.
Over to the heat.
The glass is then returned to the heat in the glory hole part of the furnace, which is not as hot.
We're melting in the colour.
Right.
Okay, so out you come, hang it down, into the mould.
Ah, right.
Okay, and now I want you to blow hard as you can and turn at the same time.
Okay.
Steep angle, turning and blowing, turning and blowing.
Speed is the key in glass blowing, as it's imperative to get the glass shaped before it cools down.
Yes, here it comes already. Good, keep going.
And it's essential to keep turning the pipe to avoid the fluid glass dropping off the end.
Lovely. Okay,
Yeah.
see that?
Oh, magic.
Not a bad attempt.
Amazing.
Now for the finishing touch.
Just below your tweezers there.
Snip, yep, and again. Lovely. Little hook.
Hey!
Great. Beautiful bauble.
Oh, thank you, MC. That was
Pleasure.
really, really good.
After their insight into Dorset's rural craft heritage, let's hope John and Sarah can continue to plough their creative gusto into our house hunting quest. For our second property, we're travelling east to the centre of the county, to the village of Hilton, near to the town of Blandford Forum, around half an hour from Weymouth. The pretty village of Hilton, with its 15th century Gothic church, is in the heart of the Dorset countryside and is littered with picture postcard thatched cottages typical of the area. Bearing in mind John's aversion to thatched roofs, we're taking a chance here in order to give him extra space. House number 2 is a Grade 2 listed semi-detached cottage that has undergone extensive modernisation.
Now, John,
Yes?
look over there.
Good grief.
That is property number 2.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah? What do you think, Sarah?
I love it. I think it's really sweet. It's really pretty.
One thing I can assure you of is that what we find on the inside is not what you're expecting.
Okay.
A good reaction to the outside, and John hasn't run away at the sight of a thatched roof, so he's hoping the configuration of this extended cob cottage will give him the space he needs.
Feast your eyes, John.
Good God.
Gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely a wow.
I was not expecting that
I told you.
at all. Yeah, you were right.
Something else. No, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
You're a bit lost for words.
I'm a bit speechless, yeah. I am. It's not like me.
Well, let's see if you can find some words in here. This is amazing. Look at this.
As we leave the kitchen, we move into the new part of the cottage, an extension that runs along the rear of the property, adding significant extra space with 2 large extra rooms.
What do you say about this?
It's not a wow,
Light.
it's more than a wow. I think. Yeah, they've done a fantastic job. haven't
It's really clever, isn't it? Come and sort of soak up the atmosphere. I mean, it's quite a lot,
Yeah.
to be honest, to take on. Because it is so different to probably what any of us were expecting.
they? It's this mix of contemporary and old and thatch, and I would take me time, I think, to get adjusted to it.
Onwards to the rest of the extension that offers an option for John's healing area.
Now, here on the other side of the pod, you've got wet room,
Gosh.
and then this
Wow.
which is currently the master bedroom.
Nice, isn't it?
Very nice.
If you were prepared to compromise on your bedroom and go upstairs,
Yeah.
this might lend itself to being your treatment room.
That's true. That makes sense, yeah.
The upstairs is within the original part of the cottage, with its more period configuration.
Now, it's up here, guys, that we really start to go back in time. Much more of that cottagey feel.
Yeah?
Come into this one.
Oh, it's nice.
Squeeze
it's
in.
cosy.
Now, really here, we've got two bedrooms that are pretty much the same size.
Right.
This one and one next door. And quite a nice family bathroom up here. So in all, it's a three-bedroom house.
Yeah, yeah.
OK. But this is where the compromise might be if you decide to use that amazing master suite as your treatment room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be an option, though.
Come on, let's go and get some fresh air.
As we head outside, I get the feeling John is finding this combination of the old and new slightly confusing. So it remains to be seen if he's willing to concede on bedroom size in order to get his healing room.
You see, this, John, I think this is where it really starts to make sense.
You know, it seems to blend. It's a nice contrast with the thatch. And
You know what's coming now, don't you? Yeah.
And it's Sarah's turn first.
I'm going to say 360.
360.
I know it's above budget, but...
I think potentially it could be spot on budget, about 350. But I'm being optimistic there, I think.
It's 325.
Good grief.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
How about it?
Wow.
It changes the equation yet again.
Well, you go and do the maths, and I'll catch up with you later.
Yeah, OK.
This Grade 2 listed thatch cottage comes in under budget at £325,000, with a mix of contemporary and traditional features, and gives John 3 bedrooms with a master ensuite, a large kitchen breakfast room, a bright and airy sitting room, a manageable garden, and all within an attractive village location.
If you are going to compromise with downstairs,
Yeah.
I don't think either of these two are big enough
No.
for you.
No.
Oh, I love it. I just don't know whether it's the house for you. But, I mean, really, what do you feel about
I don't know. I just don't have that sort of feeling. Well, the bedroom, absolutely stunning. I would die for that. It is beautiful. When I walked into the living room, it sort of literally knocked me back. I sort of had to step back a little bit. This is lovely, uber modern and all the rest of it, but there's a bit too much space here.
It may be a bit too modern for him downstairs. And I think then upstairs it was a bit too small and cottagey for him. So I think his mind is still trying to sort of work out how that would work for him. This has definitely got the wow factor, this house, but I'm not sure it was the right wow for him.
We've had quite an exciting day, I think.
We have.
Ready for a celebratory drink to finish our first day?
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Come on, lead me to it.
It's day 2 of our house hunt with John from Bembridge on the Isle of Wight, who has £350,000 to spend on his Dorset retreat. Coming up, we get the right vibes from the Mystery House.
This one, for me, does send zinging things around, you know.
And I try to meet a very slippery countryside resident.
Are you sure there's any living here?
Definitely.
You know, we do get to work in some fantastic locations on this show, and as always, Dorset has not disappointed us. Just take a look at that. Chesil Beach, the Fleet Lagoon, and over in the mist, Lyme Bay, and the rest of the coast of the southwest stretching off into the distance. The beginning of any working day really doesn't get much better than this. Now, when we finished up yesterday at Property 2, John said that he was feeling somewhat perplexed. Well, as we are over halfway through our house tours, I think we need to transform that sense of confusion into some sort of conclusion. Maybe value for money is the key. Let's find out. It's Mystery House time.
For the Mystery House, we're staying in the area, travelling a few miles down the road to the village of Milton Abbas. Milton Abbas is a picture-perfect 18th century model village. Thatched cottages, equally spaced apart, run either side of one main street, interspersed with village shops, a pub and post office. It has, however, an unusual history, having begun life as Middleton Village, half a mile down the road on the Milton Abbey estate. The lord of the estate didn't like the look of Middleton, so he razed it to the ground and moved everyone to a new site, now known as Milton Abbas.
The man responsible was called Lord Damer, and in 1772 he asked one Capability Brown to redesign the estate. He moved the village and produced this, well, amazing vista.
It is. It's fantastic, isn't it? It's beautiful.
So if you like all this, you're going to love our Mystery House because it's just down the road, and this will be your local port of call.
That's good.
Come on, let's show you the property.
A short walk away at the bottom end of the village lies the Mystery House, a Grade 2 listed semi-detached cottage that may test John's ability to compromise.
Oh, that is... yeah, gobsmacked, as they say in Liverpool.
Lovely?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Now, you don't get the whole thing.
All right.
It is a semi.
Right. Ah, it's lovely.
Does it have the right sort of feeling?
It does.
An amazing reaction, especially considering John's reluctance for a thatched roof. He seems to have come full circle. However, the acid test is to come as we head for the kitchen, a room high on his agenda.
Come in, John. Now, not a massive kitchen diner.
No.
Not a diner, but, you know, we can't have everything, can we? So it's about compromise.
What are you thinking?
I thought you would say no immediately, so I'm really surprised, pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
No, because of the kitchen size.
Yeah, I thought that would just be no, but compromise is good.
Yeah.
It has 3 bedrooms. 2 of them are on the ground floor.
Yeah.
So I think we should try and have a look at one of those next.
John's U-turn by compromising on the kitchen dining space has taken us by surprise, as I thought it would be a substantial sticking point. So let's hope the good vibes continue with the possible space for the healing room.
Oh, this is nice and light, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh, yeah.
And you get a nice view out to the trees. Through
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next door also has
lovely, actually.
a sort of light well like that.
Yeah.
This is bigger. It's set up as a twin. And next door is the bathroom.
You just get that lovely feeling. It's very grounded. That's probably because of the age of the property.
The living room is a real seller. Come and have a look at this.
That sounds intriguing.
Now, on the way is the dining room.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
sweet.
So it's not a kitchen diner, but it is a kitchen with a diner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah?
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Cosy, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
And that's rather nice, the little window seat there.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
This one, for me, does send zinging things around, you know. But the head is still saying, oh, but you don't want semi and you don't want this and you don't. And the heart is saying, yeah, hang on, let's just...
Is he given to following his head or his heart?
He's a heart man.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, definitely.
We have got you, I think, quite a nice master bedroom upstairs, so you've got your own little domain there.
That's good.
Let's have a look at that.
That's important.
The mystery seems to be coming up trumps, not just on a practical level, but spiritually too. So onwards upstairs to see if the bedrooms have the zing factor as well.
Sweet.
Ah,
Do you like this?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
really sweet.
that's nice.
You're beaming, aren't you?
Oh, I am.
I've never seen you so happy.
And across the landing, effectively an ensuite dressing room, really.
Yeah.
Shower in there and
Yeah.
so on.
Yeah, it's really
No,
cosy.
It's really cosy.
I think it's a happy coincidence that actually our final property really seems to fit more. It is all kind of here spatially
Yeah.
for you.
And it has the character and similar, better energy than number 1 did. So, you
Which
know,
you really liked.
Yeah, I did like, yeah. So, yeah, this is lovely.
With the energy flowing, we head outside to the garden, as it's time to guess the price.
What do you think, John?
There it is, the pond.
Your water feature.
The water, yeah.
You love water.
Listen.
Now, the garden itself also continues up beyond this other terrace here
Yeah.
and way up towards the wood line.
That's it. I think this one's going to blow my budget. I think it's going to be about 365.
365, sir?
I'm going to be more optimistic. I'm going to say it's on budget at 350.
At 350. It could be yours for offers in excess of £300,000.
Good grief. That is incredible. Gosh. And the thing is, I know I would be so happy here. The feeling of this place is quite incredible. This is the one.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, there is a bit more that you haven't seen, and it's up that hill. Beautiful views.
Yeah.
Go and check it out, and I will find you later.
Okay.
The charm of this 18th century Grade 2 listed mystery cottage seems to have completely won John over and is well within budget, with offers required in excess of £300,000. It gives him 3 bedrooms, including a decent-sized master, with the option to convert one into a healing room, a characterful living room with inglenook fireplace, a peaceful garden, including ornamental pond and secluded patio, views over the glorious Dorset countryside, and all within reasonable distance to his partner Ingrid in Weymouth.
It's a nice space, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Can you see yourself healing up here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This has totally blown me. I know I said that yesterday, but this is a very positive thing. Very positive. The kitchen, perhaps I would like the kitchen diner, but actually that kitchen is perfectly adequate for cooking. The living room is just so fantastic, and there's a lovely energy in the whole thing. So wherever you go on this property, there's a feeling of flow of energy. Timing point of view, from Weymouth, we're only looking at 20, maybe 25 minutes. I think I've got a very clear idea where I want to be.
This has changed his whole outlook, and he's willing to compromise. There's something about it that he feels is right for him. He's just walked through the whole house saying, yep, I love this, I love it, I can feel it. And so if he's happy with that, so am I. And I share that. I think it's really, really cosy and lovely, really lovely house.
How'd you come, sir? Madam.
Thank you.
Wow, what a few days we've had, John.
What a journey.
What a journey. Well, it's not quite over yet. You've got it all to think about now.
Yeah.
So, off you go. Let's hope we resolve that confusion.
Yes.
I'll catch up with you later.
Thanks.
Brilliant. Well, that is it as far as our house tours go for John and for Sarah. But if we have managed to whet your appetite as to what Dorset has to offer, here's a little taster of what's on the market right now.
If you want to put down roots in Dorset, you can still secure the village life with period stone cottages such as this 2-bedroom terraced house in Piemore, just north of Bridport, on the market for £210,000. Should your budget stretch a little further, then this Georgian Grade 2 listed 3-bedroom semi in the classic picture postcard village of Bradford Peveril is full of character. This home is available for offers in excess of £395,000. And if the classic thatched cottage is your idea of a country retreat, but you're looking for modern conveniences, then how about this 10-year-old 4-bedroom hamstone property, mixing contemporary fittings with period character, inviting offers in excess of £625,000. At the beginning of the 19th century, heathland covered most of southeast Dorset, but today some 86% has been lost. It's important to conserve these areas, as it's this environment which is home to specialist plants and animals, including all 6 of our native reptiles. Today I've come to Arne, a heathland nature reserve near Wareham on the south coast, to meet Michael Wilson from the RSPB, to find out more about these cold-blooded creatures and hopefully meet some.
Now, the headline that there are 6 reptiles in the British Isles was news to me, I have to confess, and I'm surprised, in a way, that there are so many.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's actually 3 lizards, 3 snakes. So we've got slow worms, common lizards, sand lizards, grass snake, adder and smooth snake. And here at Arne is a hotspot for them, really.
Now, I have to confess, probably like most people, I have a slight reservation about snakes. Should I be cautious? Are there any that are dangerous in any way?
Well, the only venomous reptile is the adder, and really it's more scared of us than we should be of it, really, and it will only sort of bite if it's threatened, if someone accidentally stands on it, something like that.
But what is it about this particular reserve that makes it work as a home for this rare collection?
Lowland heath is an extremely sort of rare habitat. It's dry here. We're obviously at the southern edge of the country. They just really like that sort of habitat.
But how big an area does this cover?
Well, we've got about 1,200 acres that we currently manage here at the moment. So, yeah, big area.
Fair bit to get around, isn't it?
Yeah,
we better get a move on.
Yeah, cool.
Up on the heath, the RSPB monitor and record reptiles, and we're hoping to see at least one of our 6 native species. Because of their rarity, a special licence is required to survey and disturb smooth snakes and sand lizards, so if we do find anything, I'll leave the handling to the experts.
So, yeah, if you come over here, Jules, I'll show you our sort of reptile surveying area we've got set up.
All I can see is some old tin sheets.
Yeah, it does look a little bit odd, but there is a serious point to this. Reptiles are cold-blooded, and these tins warm up first thing in the morning, and reptiles find them as a refuge, so they can actually reach a decent body temperature so they can be active. Fingers crossed, see what we can see. Just carefully.
Well, there's no one in.
There's several more to look under, so we'll see what we can find, really.
They are clearly rare.
That's reptile hunting for you.
Ah, ants.
Lots of ants.
No. Nope. Nope. Not a soul.
No.
No. No one. Spider. Is it?
No.
No. I mean, Michael, we have looked under, what, 40?
About 40 tins, yeah.
They are out here somewhere. I like to think they're watching us. Probably
I think
laughing.
so, laughing at us, yeah.
Thankfully, however, Michael caught a couple of reptiles earlier in the day, so let's see what he's got for us.
First thing I'm going to show you is probably the commonest reptile in Britain, and this is a slow worm. Despite appearances, she's actually a lizard. If you grab hold of the tail, it will actually lose its tail. So just put your hand out like that.
Incredible. Seems quite happy, actually.
Yeah, I mean, they'll start being quite active because they actually quite like the warmth of your hands.
Yeah.
They'll actually make them more active.
There you go. So shall I put the lid back on there?
Yes,
Safely.
yep.
And what have we got in here, then?
So that was a lizard. This is a snake. Again, quite common. You might even find these living in your compost heaps at home. The biggest snake that you get in Britain, and it's a grass snake. So she's actually probably a couple of feet long.
That's incredible. I wasn't expecting to see anything that big, if I'm honest. It's incredible the way it's lying there, with its mouth wide open.
That is a classic grass snake playing dead.
Yeah, properly playing dead. I'm not sure she's enjoying this experience.
No, well,
Firstly, better put her back.
I think I'll put her back.
Yeah. Michael, thank you very much. We had a frustrating search, but it's lovely to see the real thing here.
Of the 6 species, the adder is the only venomous reptile in the UK. So when it comes to our cold-blooded neighbours, remember the golden rule.
Look, but don't touch.
Yeah.
Like the creatures basking in the Dorset countryside, I know our house hunters have certainly enjoyed their time here. So let's find out if Sarah has managed to help John come to a conclusion.
Well, as you can probably just make out over there, John and Sarah are now coming to the end of what I suspect has been a fairly detailed discussion, and where better to have it against the backdrop of the remains of Milton Abbey, set now within the grounds of Milton Abbey School. There's an awful lot going on around that table, so let's go and find out what's going to happen next. So, where are we now, Sarah, with this search? Have we managed to do it for your dad, do you think?
I think you have.
Really?
I think you have, yeah.
OK.
I'm not going to say too much because it's his decision, but I'm getting the right vibe, let's say.
Property number 1 had the edge, didn't it?
It did, because it had a lot of all of the parameters that I was looking for. Dead on there, it was spot on.
It was perfect until today. The mystery house seems to have changed everything.
Today wouldn't have happened quite so dramatically if we hadn't had that contrast from the first two properties. And that sort of challenged maybe what I was thinking. What am I trying to do? What's my purpose? Am I coming here because I want to do my healing? Well, that's not the ultimate thing. It's the purpose is to spend the rest of my life in peace and tranquility and in a place I'd love to live.
So where are we?
Providing things go ahead back at home, I'm going to see if I can make an offer on the last one.
The mystery house.
The mystery house.
So it's all dependent on you selling your current property on the Isle of Wight?
Which could be soon.
Could be soon. Have you got a good feeling about that?
Yes.
Brilliant. Best of luck.
Thank you as well. It's been really great.
That is our pleasure. Now, Milton Abbey ceased to be a monastic centre during the Reformation of the 1540s, but it still has a spiritual air about it, and I think that's a theme that's really run through this entire week. I've always believed that buying a house should be an emotional process, but thanks to John, I'm beginning to think that it should also have a spiritual dimension as well. I've learnt a lot from him, and now, with any luck, he'll be living just up the road from here in possibly just a few months' time.
John has since returned to Milton Abbas for a second viewing of the mystery house and is eager to put in an offer. All that remains is for John to sell his property, and Dorset may soon welcome a new resident. If you'd like to escape to the country in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, or further afield to the continent and would like our help, then please apply online at bbc.
Welcome to today's Escape to the Country. Now, this gorgeous pool behind me may look like the quintessential picture of peace and serenity, but around 200 years ago, it was a hive of industrial activity with men furiously digging. But for what and where? Well, join me in just a few moments and I'll tell you.
On today's show, I'll be helping an island-hopping spiritual healer find peace in the countryside, ably assisted by his daughter. We hit the spot.
Oh, this is it. This is, wow.
It's perfect size for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And leave them stunned.
You're a bit lost for words.
I'm a bit speechless, yeah. I am.
Well, today we're in Dorset, and this is the aptly named Blue Pool at Fursbrook, just outside Wareham. Since the days of the Romans, this area has been a rich source for what's known as Purbeck ball clay. In the early 1600s, it was much in demand for producing clay pipes following the introduction of tobacco from the Americas. And as our love affair of tea increased in the 1700s, well, the likes of Wedgwood turned it into teapots and teacups to grace some of the finest homes in the country. Now, this particular clay pit behind me was begun in 1840, but within 20 years, they'd finished work here and left behind this amazing blue lagoon. And it's the clay in the water that still exists that gives it this amazing turquoise colour. It's a real gem that just goes to show that this region is full of hidden surprises. Now, Dorset's desirability does come at a cost. £316,000 is what you'll have to pay for your average detached property here. That's some 60 grand above the national figure, but as with all statistics, there are things that can skew them. And here, well, it comes in the form of sandbanks near Poole, multi-million-pound properties that represent some of the most expensive real estate in the UK. But don't panic if you haven't got 7 figures to hand. Head north to Wimborne, or indeed round Blandford Forum, and you will certainly find plenty, not only that will take your breath away, but will also make your money go that little bit further. So time now to meet today's buyers and find out why they think Dorset is the county for them.
Since the year 2000, retired IT consultant John has lived in busy Bembridge on the Isle of Wight, close to his daughter Sarah, but feels the time is right to swap the high street for a quieter spot in the countryside.
Bembridge is a lovely, lovely place, but over the years it's got more and more busy. The traffic is getting bigger and bigger, so for me it's not as quiet as I would have liked it.
And John has signed up his daughter to assist in his search for a new home.
Sarah's been I would say, my closest friend. It's 2 good mates, isn't it?
Yeah, we do get on
We're
very
good
well.
mates, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't preach anymore. I don't
No,
tell her what to do.
Stop to that. I will help Dad find his next property by being honest, I think, and practical about it.
Having lost his wife just over 6 years ago, John has a new lady in his life, but she lives on the mainland, prompting his desire to leave the island.
Well, Ingrid lives in Weymouth. I want to be near her, and because she's very special to me. It's been difficult because of the expense of the ferry crossings.
The logistics of it are just quite difficult to manage to get from here to Weymouth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it sort of makes sense for Dad to be over there.
When it comes to the new home, John is very specific about what he's after.
I think the priority is a nice quiet spot. My ideal property would be a nice low-slung cottage, you know. I'm not keen on thatch, obviously, for the price and the insurance problems and all of that sort of thing. So its energies are quite important, and the feel, you know. It's not